Follow Helen Paul and I, Frank Donga.
You forgot your show notes inside.
Can you imagine? That's what I'm looking for.
Over the last 3 years, we have traveled through the hills and the valleys of Nigeria.
I've seen people combine their coleslaw with ofada rice and pomo before.
Say what?
As we uncover the untold stories of food heroes on the front lines.
There's no planting season for us. We produce here every week.
Connecting them to untapped opportunities and the experts who can solve their problems.
We advise farmers to top dress with urea at the rate of 90 kilograms per hectare.
For a very long time, I think we neglected farming in Nigeria.
We provide loan to these farmers, and then we've been working with them for like over 10 years now.
So anybody can participate in agriculture.
This is Farm and Fortune. Like most farmers, Nasiru began his farming business with just one crop, tomatoes. If planting a single crop limits his returns and the survival of his farm business, what options can he explore?
Dalilin da yasa na gaya ma harkan gonaki da yawa ya fi arziki, ko ya kake da wani gonakin, sai a lokacin ne na gane cewa in kana da iya gona ɗaya, akwai mutanen da ba za su zo kusa da kai ba, saboda su ba sa iya siyan wannan amfanin kai da kake shukawa, ba part ɗinsu bane, ba gefen su bane. A farko gaskiya da na fara shawaran na fara duba ƙara wasu kayayyakin gonaki, gabana yana faduwa ta ya waye zai taimake ni da taki, waye zai taimake ni da aiki, da waye zai ban kuɗin da zan biya ma'aikata. So da na fara duba abun sai na ga zan iya, idan na samu daga nan sai in zuba, tunda aikin gona ba rana ɗaya ake yi ba.
Welcome. My name is Helen Paul.
And I'm Frank Donga, and you're watching Farm and Fortune. Fun fact, everyone loves a buffet party because they have so many options. But more people eat the same kind of food every time they attend a buffet party. Why?
Because sometimes options can be overwhelming, sincerely. Especially when you don't know how to manage it. I've seen people combine their coleslaw with ofada rice and pomo before.
Say what?
Yes, I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I don't blame them. Variety is the spice of life, they say.
Definitely.
You know, options are always good in farming. Right now, we're going to discover today that Nasiru, a young farmer, is struggling with a lot right now. But what options does he have?
Sincerely, Nasiru is doing very well. I will personally give Nasiru 12. Yes, for the magnitude of problem.
Fair enough. I would score Nasiru 17 for his attitude to the problem. I think his attitude needs a little bit of help, so I'm going to score him 17 for farmer attitude. And let's go and hear from him again, and we're going to see how he's handling the challenges he has in front of him.
We'll be right back. Enjoy.
Farkon fara noma na da tumatiri, kai kasuwa sai na samu riba, abin ya bani mamaki, na ce a'a damar wannan kuɗin yana cikin noma sosai, akwai alkhairi haka. To shine dalilin da yasa sai na shiga harkan sauran kayayyakin, kuma a hakan sai na ga jin daɗin ma yafi na da, alkhairin da nake samu yafi lokacin da nake iya tumatiri. A cikin amfanin gonan mu abin da yafi nuna a nan Jos, tumatiri, cucumber da dankalin turawa, saboda yana buƙatan irin ƙasan da yake Jos da kuma yanayin wedan. Yanzu dai bayan tumatiri na, tumatir yana gamawa ga Irish nan, da na gama da Irish kuma ga cucumber nan wanda ina sa rai nan da sati biyu shi ya nuna, ga tumatiri kuma wanda shi ma ya nuna, ga wake na ya nuna, masara na kuma ina sa rai ita ma nan da sati biyu za ta gama abin da ake so a cire ta a bige ta. Idan ka tsaya a abu guda ɗaya za ka tsaya dole sai lokacin shi ne kafin ka samu kuɗi a hannunka, amma idan kana amfani da wasu kayayyakin to ko da yaushe zai zama a shekara akwai kuɗi a hannunka, ba zai karewa ba.
Whoever said don't put all your eggs in one basket, certainly couldn't afford to buy more eggs, probably. And they also haven't met Nasiru. But wait for that later. My guest on today's show is a scholar and an award-winning environmental crop physiologist. Please welcome to the show, Dr. Sefao Adenike Adejimo. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Frank.
you for joining us on this show.
Thank you.
It's always good when I see my farmer people and my researchers in agriculture. They say farmers are poor. No, we're always looking good. You're looking good. Thank you, ma.
Academic farmers.
Good. So let's talk about variety being the spice of life as it pertains to agriculture and diversifying. When is diversifying in agriculture? When is it necessary?
I think diversification is part of agriculture from the beginning. Our fathers, they practiced diversified agriculture from the beginning. They grew different crops on the farm, where we can call it mixed farming, where they even rear animals together with their crops. So they had this idea from the beginning. They cannot just concentrate on growing just one crop. So they have different crops on the farm. Of course, they get whatever they eat from the farm. Everything they need, they were getting it from the farm. So because of that, they've been practicing diversified agriculture from the beginning. So you can't do agriculture where monoculture is a kind of agriculture that is being practiced by the commercial people. And this is because of the technology they are using. You know, they depend mostly on technology. Diversified agriculture should be part of the agricultural planning from the beginning. So whenever you are planning, okay, I want to go into agriculture, then you must be thinking of, okay, what are the crops that I want to go into? What can I combine together that will give me more profits? Because if you rely solely on one crop, especially with the situation we're facing now, the issue of climate change, you're like, okay, I'm a corn farmer, I'm a soybean farmer, I'm this. When the climate changes suddenly, that means you will lose everything, depending on the species of your crop or the nature of your crop, the requirements of your crop. So, but when you practice diversified or you plan for diversified agriculture from the beginning, even if you lose one crop, you still have many other crops on the ground, or something at least to pay for your loss. As an academic, I will talk about ecosystem. Diversified agriculture is what we encourage.
Why?
Why? If you are practicing monoculture, you are doing more harm to the ecosystem. Just one crop, taking up nutrients from the same horizon of the soil. For example, if you are planting maize, maize is taking its nutrients from the topsoil. That means maize will continue to take its nutrients from the topsoil and deprive the topsoil of the nutrients. That's one thing. Again, for pest infestation is another problem. There are pests that are maize pests. For armyworm now, if your farm is big maize farm and there is an infestation of armyworm, that means everything will be wiped out. Okay? So monoculture is not doing us well as ecologists.
But you said something about, sorry to interrupt now, you said something about the fact that most monocultures are done by commercial farmers because, you know, probably they have thousands of acres of land, so they bring machines, plant at the same time.
Plant at the same time, they have harvester, they have planter, they have everything that have been at least programmed to follow this path.
So they need the crops to be uniform.
To be uniform.
For that machine
to be able to work perfectly.
So, but in Nigeria, we have more of subsistence
farmers, yes,
and farmers than what we have the commercial ones. So let's look at that. What on the subsistence level now, because most people that want to start agriculture or that are already in agriculture, they would want to know, if I'm going to do mixed farming or mixed cropping, what are the best crops to combine?
Okay. To combine crops, there are factors we look at. We don't just combine crops. We don't just go grow maybe maize with what? Is it millet? At least cereals. You don't grow cereals together. You don't grow tuber crops together. There are different factors we consider.
So I can't plant cocoyam, yam, and potato.
And potato at the same time. Why? Because they take their nutrients from the same source.
Oh, still the nutrient issue. Okay.
I'm sorry.
See,
we depend on the nutrient they take up. As we are sitting down now, we are the nutrients from the crop, from the soil. Our plants will take up the nutrient from the soil. So we hit the nutrients and we are that nutrient. Okay? So we still talk about the nutrients anytime we are talking about crop. So if you are trying to mix crops together, you must look at you your soil type, then the type of your crop, the species of your crop. What are the nutrient requirements of that crop? Then, where is the source of that nutrient for that crop? So that is why if you are combining crops, they must not be the ones, they must be able to complement one another, one. Then they must not be the ones that will be taking or competing for the nutrients from the same place. So, for example, if you are combining maize and maybe yam, for example, tuber crop. You know tuber crop is a deep-rooted crop. It will take its own nutrients from the deeper part of the soil. Whereas your maize is a shallow-rooted crop, will take its nutrients from the shallow region. So that is why when we are practicing mixed cropping, then you try to combine the deeper-rooted crops with the shallow-rooted crop. So before you combine crops, before you mix any crop together, you must know the biology of your crop. As an academic, you must know, okay, this is my crop. This is what it needs to grow. And this is where it's taking its nutrients from. Because everything you are talking about, crop, the growth and everything, it depends on the nutrients. The availability of the nutrients, okay? Apart from the sunlight, the photosynthesis and everything, at least the plant must grow first, okay? So you must be able to combine and be able to make sure that, okay, this crop is not competing with this, or they are at least complementing the effort of one another. And you combine crops again together because you think that, okay, if I grow this type of plant with this type of plant, maybe like a climbing plant. Okay, this one is an erect plant. Okay, my climbing plant will have something to hang on when it's growing up. Different reasons of combining crops.
So let's play a little game, ma. I hope you like games. And I also like to give illustrations and practicality to our conversation so that people that are watching us, you know, even if they are not deep into academics, they can still follow. So I will not ask you that question that way again. Like, which was the best one to combine? I'll just say, what is the most commonly combined? So I know you must have seen a lot of farms, you know, and you must have seen a lot of farmers, successful ones, not so successful ones are the ones that need assistance. So, but commonly in Nigeria, what kind of crops do our farmers usually combine successfully with maize?
They combine cassava with maize.
Cassava and maize?
Yes. Okay. They combine yam sometimes with maize.
Yam and maize? Okay, what about...
They grow soya beans again with other things.
Soya beans and what can you combine with soya beans?
I think they combine it with cereals too.
Interesting. Or can you combine vegetables? Maybe you're planting...
Oh, vegetables. For our peasant farmers, you know, they grow vegetables anyway. Even in the yam farm, they grow their vegetables along the rows. Then with maize, they grow vegetables too. Now, you've watched our documentary and you saw our farmer, Nasir, who does a lot. You know, variety is the spice of his farm right now. What would you score Nasir over 40 when it comes to access to resources? Like, does it look like somebody that has access to resources to carry out the mission he's on? What would you score him over 40? I think, is it Nasir? Nasir, yeah. I think he's trying. And he knows what he's doing. He's a good farmer. And I watched the documentary and I appreciate his efforts. Yes. And that is one thing that if you are doing what you have passion for, you continue to excel. So for me, if I want to score Nesiru, because of his passion for what he's doing, apart from his access to resources, I think I will give him 30. 30 over 40. Over 40. Thank you very much. We'll do more. Hold the thought there because I wanted to grade him on another thing, you know, but it just simply means that options, you know, variety and options are always welcome in agriculture. All right, guys, hold on one second. Stay with us. I want to show you another beautiful DIY hack. We'll be right back to continue this conversation with Dr. Adejumo.
Welcome to our DIY segment. Interested in trying out a new crop? Good news! You can start from your home garden with a soil bag. Buy or make a soil bag and seal it at the edge. Poke holes in the bag and be mindful to leave ample space for the seedling to grow. Plant your seeds directly into the holes. Ensure they go down well and are well spaced. Water them consistently and expose them to sunlight. Watch your crop grow right out of the bag. Now you know how to garden from a bag. Join us next week for another helpful DIY tip.
Welcome back to the show. Dr. Adejumo was just telling us about the benefits of diversifying. What crop recommendations would you suggest? What farmers should plant together? how and when to command these things. Those are kind of things we're talking about. Thank you very much, Dr. Adejimo, for still being with us on this show and sharing from your wealth of experience and knowledge.
Thank you, Mr.
Now, talking about diversifying in crop, before the DIY break, you told us the best thing for the environment, especially now with climate change, desertification in sub-Saharan Africa, is to diversify and do mixed cropping. You said it's good for the health of the soil, it's good for the nutrients in the soil. And in what other way? I know now because of climate change, you have things like erosion, flooding, and then also, I also want you to tell us, does it have any benefit with regards to the income of the farmer throughout the year? Let's talk about that now.
Yes. At least the farmer will have access to different crops all year round. And that will also enhance the income of the farmer. A farmer can grow different crops and I will say this one by February, this one will be ready for sale. Then by April, I will harvest this. By June, by this, all year round. If a farmer is practicing diversified farming, then that farmer will have access to income, at least having something to sell all year
on a
steady basis. Apart from the fact that it also helps in how will I do like a kind of risk management. So I think the most important thing for a farmer, if you are practicing diversified farming, is that you must have a ready market for each crop. Market for each crop, because that is another challenge. Okay, I have many crops, I've planted many crops. When you're harvesting them, the problem of storage is another thing, because you don't have storage facility. Then the problem of transportation, again, transporting those crops to the market is another thing. So for diversified farming, then there must be a proper planning, including how you are going to market those crops. So that at the end of the day, it will not be a waste. But if you are able to manage those things, okay, ready market, transportation, when this one is ready, the market is already waiting, and this is how I'm going to transport it to the buyer. Good. That will enhance the income of the farmer, and we are sure of food security all year round.
You saw farmer Nasiru. I want you to grade him again now, but this time around, I want you to grade his potential for growth. What would you rate him over 20? I mean, you've seen him and what he does, how he's combining a lot of things, varieties, the spice, like you say. Does it look like he can scale up easily and grow? What do you think? And grade him.
I think I will score him 16.
16?
I will give him 16. Because, like I mentioned earlier when you asked me, Nasiru has passion for farming. And with the way he's practicing his own farm, even if there is a change in the climatic condition or whatever, he has something to fall back on. So potential for growth for Nasiru, I think, is very, very high. Very high. So I will give him 16.
16. So 16 it is then. 16 over 20. I think that's a good score. So overall, what do you think now? Because we already graded Nasiru in 2 other points. You added 2 areas to the points. Overall, out of 100, what do you think Nasiru will score?
Okay, I gave him 16, 15, and 30 before, have you? Maybe from my own side, I think I've given him about 61 or so. What about 80? Overall, I think Nasiru should get 80.
Let's check Nasiru's score. What's Nasiru's score? And Nasiru has 75. So he's scored A. He's an A-list farmer. Thank you very much.
He's a good farmer.
For joining us on the show today, Ma. And wish you all the very best in your endeavors, and keep making us proud and lifting the flag of agriculture high. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
Now, I know you already have your ideas on what to do to add to your farm, but has diversifying produced the result that Nasiru wanted? Let's hear from him.
Now that Nasiru is exploring other crops, how does he make them all work together? Is he spreading himself too thinly?
Lallai wannan harkan da nake yi harka ce mai kyau, saboda duk abin da kaga nayi ko na zama ko nake da shi a yau dalilin ta ne. Inda babu riba da na gudu. To riban da yake ciki shine yasa na zauna kuma nake kwadayin wasu da suke karkashi na su ma su rike ta hannu bibbiyu, har ba ma na karkashi na ba har da makwabta na su rike harkan nan hannu bibbiyu. Saboda noma gaskiya ta bani arziki. Ta bani arziki ko me nake da shi da duk abin da na mallaka dalilin gona ne, a gona na samu. To ni ba abin da zan ce ma gona sai dai Allah ya sa mana albarka a harka.
When you choose to play on the fields of the ancient agrarian marketplace, consider a good coach to take along with you. The Udongo app is your gateway to the Nigerian agricultural ecosystem. Whether you are a newbie or an oldie, signing up instantly connects you with a community of other farmers, products, agents, distributors, and resources all in one place. Access our unique and simple interface from the bustling big cities to the most remote regions across Nigeria. Enjoy full access to real-time farming solutions that help you make timely and profitable decisions. Or allow our one-on-one consultancy services cheer you on with each move you make. As a newbie or oldie looking to make a big agricultural footprint, feel secure knowing you have the best coach always in your pocket. Udongo app is your personalized farming coach, available to you every time, anywhere, just at the click of a button. Download the Udongo app from the Google Play Store now and enjoy new opportunities.
Welcome back. It's still Fam and Fortune, and this segment we're looking at secrets of the soil with our soil expert, beautiful lady, in person of Miss Eberechuko Miriam Ugado. Good to have you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You look beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am.
I love when I pronounce your name, Eberechuko. All right, so for the secrets of the soil today, we're looking at just south, Plateau State, Nigeria. And the crop we want you to talk about is Irish potato. Please take over, madam.
Thank you, Helen. Irish potato is a tuber crop mostly grown in southern parts of Jos, in Plateau State, here in Nigeria. It thrives well in a well-drained, sandy, loamy soil under the pH level of 5.4 to 6.5. Nitrogen, phosphorus, exchangeable potassium are major macronutrients that are required for optimum performance of this Irish potato. Now, let's look at the soil test report of Irish potato in this location. The optimum pH level is adequate for the performance of Irish potato. The available phosphorus is very low. The exchangeable potassium is low. Then the total nitrogen is also very low, while the organic matter is very low. There are fertilizer recommendations that are adequate for optimum performance of this Irish potato. In Jos, farmers in the past used to get 12 tons per hectare, but using this fertilizer recommendation, one can actually get a target yield of 20 tons per hectare. At planting, it is recommended that NPK 15-15-15 at the rate of 220 kg per hectare or 250 kg per acre, which is equivalent to 5 bags. Okay. This should be done at planting. Then, it's also advisable that they should top dress using muriate of potash at the rate of 420 kg per hectare or 6.4 kg per acre, which is equivalent to 1 bag. And this should be done at tuber initiation. With this fertilizer recommendation, a farmer can get a target yield of 20 tons per hectare.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Eberechuko. But I want to understand something. When you talk about the NPK 15-15-15, 120 per hectare, 125 per acre, then 5, is it 25 kg or 50 kg?
It's 50 kg.
Oh, to be applied at planting?
Yes, at planting.
From the description, it's so obvious that I would like to visit Jos. You know, and when I'm going, I don't want to go alone. Yes, because Mr. Frank is always going and enjoying the physical reality of what's happening in the farm. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you,
and thank you for explaining to us about the secret of the soil using Irish potato in Jos South. We're glad to have you. It's still Fam and Fortune. Don't forget to always join us. We're always on standby. Next now is the band banter. Let's go enjoy it. Welcome back. It's still Fam and Fortune. This is Ban Banter with Helen Paul. I'm about to have an exciting conversation with two amazing people. They are our special guests on the Ban Banter today. Mr. Adeyemo.
Okay.
Please tell me, what kind of farming are you into?
I deal in birds.
Birds?
Yeah. Broiler birds, noilers, turkey, ducklings and ducks, and swan and geese.
What about parrot?
No, I don't do that.
Okay. How did you get into that kind of business?
When I was serving in my NYC some few years ago, I was introduced into the business, and from then on, I fell in love with it.
So it's very profitable?
Yes, very, very.
Great. In your opinion, what other streams of income do you think farmers can go into?
I can go into value addition. For example, I'm a vegetable farmer, so if I could cook up means or look for ways to, process my vegetables, like cauliflower, process it to become swallow, for feed farm and the rest. So farmers can always look into value addition.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. It's time to play. Are you ready?
Yes.
We are. All right. These are the rules. Identify and spell backwards the images you see on the screen. You have 5 seconds to watch the screen. The first person to finish the arrangements and eat the buzzer within 5 seconds gets 5 points. The first image starts now. The second image starts now. Watch and, of course, play. The third image displays now. Oh my God. The fourth image now. God. Fantastic. We have a winner already on Fam and Fortune Ban Banter segment. The winner will go on with 100,000 naira worth of farm inputs. Congratulations, Mr. Adeyemo. You
Thank
are the
you
winner.
very much. Thank you very much. It's good competing with you.
Yes.
Competing with her.
Yes.
Really? How do you feel being the winner?
I feel elated and happy.
Serious?
Very, very happy.
So when you're happy, you throw pot.
Yes, now you do like.
It's still Fam and Fortune. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Let's go to the other side.
What a show. I've learned so much today. One road doesn't lead to the market.
Of course, even to the store, to the supermarket, to the more
Eatery, to the
to
salon.
different places, to canteens especially.
It's okay, I get the picture. However, there's just one way that leads to hooking up with us next week, and that's by tuning into the same station at the same time.
And until then, let's stay in touch. Follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, YouTube, @Fam and Fortune.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us this week. I'm Frank Donga.
And I'm Helen Paul, and see you next week.